I was laying in bed after Cloud9 got knocked out of Worlds, and I was thinking about random ideas for characters, for stories, comic ideas, anime, the usual weeb stuff. And I was thinking about how interesting or boring transforming or amorphous characters can be. And I had the image of Zack pop into my head. And I honestly couldn't remember where the fuck he was from. I couldn't remember if it was in a game, an anime, or just something I had seen on the internet. After a couple seconds of being immersed in my dumbassery, I realized how much Zack is forgotten about as a champion. He's so forgotten about that people don't even talk about him being forgotten about. From both visual design and gameplay standpoints, it's always interesting for me, personally, to think about what contributes to a champion being forgotten. Is a transforming or amorphous character less memorable because of the fact that their form is constantly changing? With a champion like Darius, we can see very clear forms of him swinging his axe. This allows for skins like Dunkmaster Darius to be altered in meaningful ways that are both visually appealing as something new, but still retain the persona of the base skin. But with Zack, even his base animations are quite extreme. This means that even for his alternate skins, they are forced to be just recolors with a few details on top. In-game, none of his skins stand out, making your character never have the visual impact of something like a Yasuo or a Darius alting, especially with alternate skins. It would be very difficult for Riot to make Zack be part of a lot of skin lines, because how do you make a strong artistic impact on a champion that is made up of jello?
Fighting is in my blood. I mean, my goo.
To me, it seems similar to old Poppy. Not that skin, though. Her original base skin. Compared to the new base Poppy, it has very little visual identity or appeal. Instead of the undersized but tough blacksmith warrior that Riot wrote in as the character for Poppy, all she ended up being was an ugly dwarf with an ult to kill helpless supports. It's similar with Zack. He's supposed to be a strong but flexible brawler, but his very basic appearance makes him just seem like a goofy piece of slime. Honestly, I think Zack is an interesting champion despite his lackluster appearance. He has great personality, good voice lines, and is pretty fun to play.
I was made for this. Literally. I never skip breakfast. It's not how much you can lift, it's how good you look!
I'd say Zack is pretty fair to play against, outside of his ridiculous early ganking due to his Emax first. Zack is another one of the mini-game champions.
Each time Zack hits an enemy with an ability, a chunk of himself flies off from his body. He can reabsorb these bloblets to regain a percentage of his maximum
Bard's
health.
presence causes various collectible chimes to appear across the map. By wandering over them,
Lamb
Bard
can
collects
switch
these
targets
relics
every
and
couple
gains a
minutes.
burst of
Enemy
Though
summoner
once a marked
spells and
target
active
bites the
items
dust,
drop
Ivern's
spell
passive
charges
is a
around
friend
your
of the
target.
forest.
Collecting a spell shard
Ivern
grants
loves
Zoe
all
one
the
cast
jungle's
of that
creatures
spell
and would
or
never
item
harm
via
them.
spell fee.
With his passive working on percent health, it means that you're always either getting your ass beat by the jungle, or it's hardly even worth it to pick up your blobs. Any changes in health regen or jungle camps make Zack's early game a nightmare to balance. With Zack's design, I don't think it would be appropriate to make his cost mana or energy based, as using health seems appropriate for a blob slinging himself around, knocking off parts of his body. I think the best compromise would be to make Zack's passive run off of an ammo system. He uses a set amount of material off of his body, but if he doesn't pick them back up, then he can't keep fighting and using spells. I believe that this would allow for more balancing opportunities around the amount of blobs that he has available, which could be a set number, or scale with level, or my favorite option could be based on his total health. Using blobs as an ammo system could also encourage enemies to try and step on his blobs to destroy them, as this is currently a really underused mechanic. I don't think that Zack will ever really stay in the meta for very long due to these issues, especially his passive revolving around health. I wouldn't be surprised if Zack continues to be forgotten about for quite some time, which is a shame because who can't love a champion that can do this?
Let us play
bun.
Not how much you can lift. It's how good you are.
Let us play bun.